Alright, good evening, everyone. It is the 20th of May today, and I'm going to tell you how my day went. In addition to that, it is the last day on the Trans Siberian Railroad. So, the night was quite well. You could really hear dogs barking through the canyons, the echoes, which I thought was cool. Beautiful, beautiful sky. Only thing I didn't like is the bathroom light. They should turn that off so you can see more stars, but they didn't, so too bad, but still absolutely gorgeous. And of course, my camera wouldn't take pictures because it's stupid. The yurt was very warm. I woke up twice during the night to put more fire on or in the stove. In addition, the people who owned the camp came in around 3, put the fire back on. I got woke up at 5:30 by my neighbor. I asked him to because I wanted to film the sunrise. And I also noticed my fire went out, which means it started turning cold. But overall, I could sleep without covers, everything, because it was so hot. Because that's how good I had the fire. But anyways, so the fire was out. So the new fire finally came around 6:10. I finally found the people, and they did it. And the lady who made the fire, it was a very weak fire, and she just smothered it with coal. So I had to go ahead, rearrange it in there, and save the dying flame by blowing on it for literally about half an hour. I was working the fire so I could get it to where I needed it to be. In addition, an old man came into my yurt after my fire was going good, so that's past 6. Looking at me, why are you in my yurt? It's like, because this is mine, not yours. And he goes, oh, okay, and he just leaves again. Yeah, complete idiot. They're labeled, everything, and he's just like, no. So anyway, it was warm again, absolutely great. I was so happy. We had good breakfast. There was a homemade bread, which is absolutely fantastic, jelly, cheese, and then a soup. Soup was very good. And after that, we were told there's a mountain, and you'll see it. You can climb it if you want until we have to leave at 10:30. So I went ahead, and as the only person, I hiked up there. And there's 2 ways I could have gone. The first way would have been right by my yurt, but it was way too steep just looking at it. And the second way was going all the way around, which looked less steep. However, this was not the case. Climbing up, I realized just how steep it was, and very rocky, lots of holes and stuff. I made it almost all the way to the top. The last 20 meters were sheer cliff, meaning I couldn't get up, and it was covered in about 3 millimeters of ice. So without proper harnesses, climbing gear and stuff, no way in hell I would have climbed up there. Just way, way too dangerous. And then that knife that I bought yesterday actually came in handy on the way down. I stabbed it into the ground as an anchor point to keep a low center of balance going down, because it was much steeper than I remembered going up. Once you go down, you realize just how steep it really is. But it was very nice. Made it down in time with time to spare. Then, oh, there we go. We took the bus to the Turtle Rock. Turtle Rock, pretty boring. Actually, it's just a rock formation. It looks like a giant turtle. But what was interesting is what they sold there as souvenirs. They had bronze head of Hitler. Yes, this is a true story. I even have pictures of it. And I gotta say, you see a lot of swastikas and stuff around town. They're on buses, t-shirts, everything. I took pictures of it just because I guarantee people wouldn't believe me if I said, look at all this. So either the Mongolians are super neo-Nazi, or they have no clue what it means. They also sold a fox pelt hat. I didn't believe it. That it was actual fox, so I didn't buy it. It was way too cheap. On the way back to camp, we stopped by some nomads. It was really cool. They gave us some traditional food and stuff. Very nice. It was an old couple. Then we had lunch. Lunch was more than you could ever eat back at camp with the rest of the group. And everybody else was still bullshit, and that's not for me. So I went ahead and I had some chocolate. So I walked, I'd say about a kilometer one way to the yurt from the nomads. Gave them some chocolate, so they were really happy about that. Then we had a show, which was boring. It had wrestling, archery, and then horses, and it sucked. What was much more interesting was before the horse show, some of the women that were part of the group that did the horse show got into a fight. So this is very entertaining to watch, much more entertaining than the actual show. And then we got on the ride back. The whole roads are horrible. I was convinced the bus driver was going to kill us multiple times because the bus was going to tip over because it's a city bus driving on dirt roads with potholes about yay deep. And then even in the city, he drove horrible. So then we went on the way back because we had extra time to a store. I bought a cashmere scarf for my mom. It was relatively cheap. 100% cashmere, made in Mongolia, so it's not made in China, made in Thailand, any of that crap. It's the real deal. I had tea because I have a sore throat, because the air here is dry. It's literally single digits, if that, in humidity. So my throat is just drying up regardless of how much I drink. So I don't like that, but there's nothing I can do about that besides keep drinking. I do have a blister on my big toe, right foot, from hiking up the mountain. I went ahead and I asked our guide Anatoly if he could get me a Band-Aid. All I wanted was a Band-Aid. He came back with the doctor, and she put some iodine on it. It told me to pop it later, which I was going to do anyways, and then put the Band-Aids on it. I told her I've had more blisters than I can probably ever count, and it's a familiar process to me. But because I packed literally the day before my flight, which I normally never do, I didn't pack everything I wanted to pack or should have packed. And what I will take to South America is a Swiss Army knife. Come hell or high water, I'm going to buy one. Because the little credit card tool I have is literally the size of a credit card. It's got a little knife, a whistle and stuff. It just sucks. And I'm also going to bring a flashlight. Very, 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 very important. And of course, flint and steel, which I have previously. So I got the Band-Aids. We had dinner. Dinner was good. Very fancy. We had sturgeon and salmon to start off with. Then we had a nice main dish with meat, and then a very nice dessert last meal. I should say last dinner. Some champagne. Didn't drink it. Had a sip of it just to celebrate and all. Took a shower. I shaved. I've learned if you can shave in a moving train, you can shave just about anywhere on Earth. And I'm pretty much done. I packed and everything. The only thing I really have to still put away is a towel tomorrow, and then I'm done. Not looking forward to China necessarily that much. We're going to reach the border at around 10 tomorrow. Once we pass through the border, it's going to take about 5 hours, we were told, because the Mongolians need our passport. They collect them, and they stamp them, and then they bring them back, which that maybe an hour, hour and a half. But the Chinese are going to check everything. And then we have to get, as soon as we get cleared, everybody gets off the train, the Trans-Siberian train, and we have to go to the special Chinese train because the Chinese have narrower tracks. And right now I'm in a one-man compartment. It's technically a two-man, but I'm the only one in it. But it's going to be four-man compartments in the Chinese one. So, but I'm only in there for like 16 hours, so it's okay. It's doable. And that's about all. Tomorrow I'm probably going to make a video, yeah. Haven't written in my journal in like 5 days because I just haven't had the time and with the moving and stuff. So I'll make that up when I get home or at the hotel, but I'll keep you posted.